Welcome back. The Tertiary Institutions Debate Challenge hosted by Bank of Namibia is upon us again. The annual event sees learners from UNAM, IUM and NUST go toe-to-toe, challenging their minds and critical thinking to be crowned debate champions of 2023. We're joined now by Sandra Garises, who is the Principal Communications Team Lead at Bank of Namibia, to enlighten us more about the event. Sandra, good evening and welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening and thank you for having me. Good morning.
Sandra, why debate? Of the many mediums of competition, why did the Bank of Namibia decide to go with debate?
Thank you. The Bank of Namibia Tertiary Institutions Debating Challenge is one of the bank's flagship public education initiatives aimed at increasing tertiary students' interest in economics and the role of the central bank in our economy. So the concept of a debate is appropriate at the tertiary level, as it provides students with unique educational benefits that will really enable them not only to learn about aspects of the economy, but also equip them with exposure to presentation skills that may set them apart in the world of work. So this particular debating challenge will enable students to gain broad, multifaceted knowledge cutting across several aspects of the economy and central banking. And the Bank of Namibia engages various local institutions of higher learning to avail students, primarily those studying economics and finance. But this year, we have seen students from the law faculty and also those studying IT, specializing in cybersecurity, partaking in this debating challenge. So students ranges from first year to final year. So this calls on some of the best university debaters to debate critical and topical economic issues in our country.
And what is the topic of discussion that will be debated rather, and how was this topic decided upon?
This year, we will have more than one topic. So the first topic is related to stabilizing inflation, and the second topic is related to virtual currencies. Both these topics were selected due to their relevance in the current economic landscape that we find ourselves in. So these topics are relevant and timely considering the fragile global economic conditions and rise of inflation and the rise in the use of popularity of virtual currencies worldwide, as we have seen.
Virtual currencies is currently such a hot topic. What is it that the public can learn from this?
So the Bank of Namibia's current stance on the use of virtual currencies are that at this stage, it does not support the use of crypto assets, including cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, and CBDCs, as they are unregulated and pose a certain considerable risk. But because of the close relationship between virtual assets and the real economy, the bank must manage any potential risk to monetary policy and its financial stability in a proactive manner. So the bank's position on these innovations is basically not static and are constantly evolving, informed by certain surveying that is done through domestic landscape and pairing this view with global standards that are set. Also, there is a certain group of regulators working on virtual assets, and that is currently in the process of drafting a framework for these virtual assets and virtual asset service providers. So the committee is basically charged with developing a prudential licensing and regulatory framework. So until such a time that it is finalized and operationalized, the public remains cautioned to be careful when investing in virtual assets at this point in time, as there is no protection should funds so invested be forfeited. But currently, virtual assets in Namibia remain without legal tender status. The acceptance of virtual assets for the payment of goods and services are at the discretion of any merchant or buyer willing to participate in such an exchange or trade. So our position remains that the initial coin offerings leave themselves up to the possibility of fraud, manipulation, and misrepresentation. So we do not really advocate nor support the general public's engagement in initial coin offerings related to virtual assets.
Thank you so much for that. Sandra, the winners walk away with quite, big prizes. So talk to us about that, and also the criteria that the debaters will be judged on.
Yes, there are indeed great prizes up for grabs. The first prize is a 10,000 Namibia dollars. The second prize is 5,000. We also have a category for the best speaker. That best speaker will walk away with 2,500. So the judging criteria basically is to look at how organized the team is and their clarity of argument. How do they use their argument? How do they use their cross-examination and rebuttal when their turn comes? And what is their presentation style? So the team that prevailed over the other team by presenting a superior context or framework of the issue will be the winner.
Sandra, just lastly, before we let you go, will the competition be open to the public to view, and of course, how and where can they be a part of it?
Yes, public members can watch the debate live on the bank's Facebook page. The stream will also be shared on the respective tertiary institutions' social media pages. So institutions will also engage to bring along students to show support to their respective debaters. And the event is actually scheduled to take place this coming Thursday, 20th of July at 9 o'clock at the National Theatre. So we are looking forward to this exciting debating competition.
Sandra Garises, thank you so much for your time this evening, and thank you for joining us here on the Daily Roundup.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That was Sandra Garises from Bank of Namibia speaking to us. We'll be right back after this break.